Alright, so what we have here is also we're going to have to solve for x. Okay, so we have to do whatever we did yesterday. We have two sides of the equality. We have to simplify each side and then move things around. So, first thing that you want to do, you want to get rid of the brackets. And you do that by multiplying, distributing the number before the bracket hit, by multiplying it. Okay? So right here we have a bracket, but the number before it is just a negative 1. So same thing, you have to multiply by that negative. So you should have 4 minus 15x. Negative times negative gives you, so it's going to be plus 10. Plus 6x equals to 7 minus 5x minus 1 plus 3 minus 5x. Okay? Because the minus is multiplied by the negative, right? So the negative by the positive, negative by the positive, so it changes their sign. Now I'm going to have to collect like terms on each side. Okay? So I'm going to start with this side. My like terms, let's say I have the 4 and the 10. What does that give me? 4 plus 10? 14.
Oh,
Negative 15x and 6x, what do you get? Negative 9x. So the first side is simplified. That's the most simple that you can get from that side. What?
I put all the x's on the side.
You can.
Oh, yeah.
It's not wrong. Okay, we should have the same answer at the end. Okay? I like to clean things before I move them so I don't have too many things to move. Okay? Now on this side, if you look on this side, I have 7 minus 1 plus 3. So that should be 9 if you add them all together. Okay? Use a calculator. Don't, like, you have it. It's available for you. Then I have minus 5x and minus 5x, so that gives me negative 10x. Okay? Because minus 5 and then take away 5, it becomes negative 10. Now you see that on each side I have a number and a term with a letter. And then I have a number and a term with a letter. I want to move the letters to one side and the numbers to the other side. Doesn't matter which way you move them. Doesn't matter if you want to move the numbers here or if you want to move the numbers here. Okay? It's going to give you the same answer. So, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move the negative 10x here. If I move, what happens? What happens to the sign? It becomes a positive. It changed the sign. And I'm going to move the 14 over. Okay? Because the numbers have to be on one side. So if it's a positive 14, I move it over, what does it become? Negative 14. You guys see that? So I only have like terms on each side. So negative 9x plus 10x gives me 1x equals to negative 5. That is my answer. X equals negative 5. Would it be the same if you have negative 5 equals x?
Yes.
Yes. Okay? The equal sign doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't matter as long as it's the same numbers and same letters, it's the same thing. Now, so we're going to remember here that this is, what do we call this? The number in front of a letter, what do we call it? Coefficient, that's right. And this is called the variable. Okay? The letter is the variable. To move numbers and terms from one side of the equation to the other side, you have to perform opposite operation. We talked about opposite operation yesterday. To both sides of the equation. Okay? So, if your operation is positive, what would be the operation to that? Negative. So if you have a positive, the opposite operation is negative. If you have a negative, what's the opposite operation? Positive. Do you have multiplication? Division. And if you have a division, it will be multiplication. So, if you're moving from one side to the equation of the equation to the other side, this is when you change your operation. Do you guys understand that part? Okay. Can I scroll up? So the last number that you want to eliminate from an equation is the coefficient. Okay? So let's say if I have this, for example, I'm going to erase this. If I have 2x plus 3 equals to 5. Okay? I'm going to move the 3 over. That's the first thing I want to do. Right? And the last thing I want to do is I want to get rid of the coefficient of the variable. That's the last thing you want to do. Okay? What kind of operation do I have here? 2 times 2x. What kind of operation? Multiplication. What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So you bring it over as division. So it'll be 2 divided by 2. Okay? So let's write this and then we'll do some examples. So the last number eliminated from an equation is the number in front of the variable. Okay? And we know it as the coefficient. So to eliminate the coefficient, do the opposite operation. Okay? So if it's multiplication, usually it's either multiplication or division. So if it's multiplication, you divide, and if it's division, you multiply. Okay. So the question is asking you to solve for each variable. Can you guys tell me what I need to do for the first one? Sorry? 12 plus 4. Right? So what I have to do is I have to move my negative 4 over, and that becomes the opposite operation of that is plus 4. Right? So I move the negative 4 over, it becomes positive 4, so I have x equals 16. Okay? Done. This is your answer. It's asking you to solve, that means to find the value of x that satisfies this equation. This is your answer, you're done. Okay? This is a little more complicated. It's not only one thing that I have to move, so can you guys help me with this?
5x minus 3. Or no, she-
So when I move this over, you're telling me to move this over, right? So it becomes a negative 3, okay? You have to move it totally over to the other side, okay? So that would be, and then what else do I have to move? The 4x. I move it to this side, so what does it become?
Negative 4.
So I have 5x minus 4x equals to negative 12 minus 3. Yes?
So if you're moving it from the right side, you have to put it in on the left side of the equals, like right there.
Like I have to put it right here.
Yeah, so not on the other side of the spot.
I personally always say put it right here, and then when you're moving from here, put it at the end. It's easier for you to see and to visualize, and it's less signs. Because if you're gonna bring it here, then you're gonna have to put negative 4x plus 5x, so it's gonna be a little complicated. A lot of students forget to write, so a lot of students would forget to write that plus 5x, right? If you know that you have to do this, you can do it. Doesn't matter where you put it, it's gonna be the same. But what I always say, if you're moving from here and then to the other side, just bring it all the way to the other side. And then if you're moving from the right to the left, then put it right next to the equal sign. What's 5x minus 4x? 1x.
Okay.
Or just x. Negative 12 minus 3 is negative 15. Is that my final answer?
Yes.
Yes. X is by itself. Even if I have a 1, that's 1x. That's what I'm looking for. Good. Now, 2x minus 5 equals 11. What do I do? Move the negative 5 over, it becomes what? Positive. So I would have 2x equals to 11 plus 5. So that's 2x equals 16, correct? Am I done?
No.
No, because x is not by itself. I have 2 of them. How would I get rid of that 2? Divide by 2, right? You want to get rid of that 2, so you divide by 2. Because what we have here is multiplication. So when I bring the 2 over, it becomes a division. So x equals 8. Now is that my final answer?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Can I move to the next slide? So the number represents the coefficient of the variable term, negative 8. So basically the negative 8, right, is the coefficient. That's what it means. And remember that the coefficient is the last number to leave the equation when solved. Okay? Leave it to the last. What I want you to do right now, I want you to take a minute or a few minutes and try to do the at least for D and E. Okay? Try to do D and E. I'll come around and help. Put your hand up if you need the help. And we'll take it up and then we'll do 6 together, okay?